Week 25.
All right, welcome to week 25.
Yay!
And I'm introducing because, as you can see, Mr. Stubby's eating ice cream cake. I was polite enough to finish the ice cream cake before we started.
She's way more polite than me.
So we told you last week that we were going to a special event at Film Streams to see the movie American Teacher, which turned out to be a very big mistake on my part. Because while I watched the movie, and there are flaws in the film as far as production value goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not horrible, though. I mean,
no, it's not horrible. But we walked out, and I did cry a couple of times. I don't know if I cried at the right times. I cried when they did a graphic about how many hours a week teachers work, and I really did burst into tears because I felt I'm not the only teacher who's working 65 or 80 hours a week.
With me, I was like, I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, those people work a lot. And then I stopped to think about it, and then I was like, oh. Oh.
That's me too.
Oh, man.
Anyway, but the movie greatly affected Mr. Stubby quite a bit. And for that I felt badly because he has not been his typical jovial self the last couple of days. And I feel bad about that.
It was so depressing.
It is, what I liked about it was that they actually talked to public school teachers, current and former public school teachers, whereas Waiting for Superman did not have a single public school teacher that was interviewed in it. It was all Michelle Rhee, Bill Gates, it was all those people.
Michelle Rhee's a former public school teacher. Oh, I got an ice cream headache. Oh. That's bad. Oh, it hurts bad. Okay.
That's the best thing that's happened to me all day.
A little soda will put out that fire.
Let's offset the ice cream headache with a quick jolt of caffeine.
Alright, I'm better now. Where were we?
I was going to talk about Michelle Rhee being a teacher. That's what I was already saying. Anyway, so we watched this documentary, and there were a whole string of us from Bellevue Public Schools who went, and I was talking to my friend Kim, who was sitting on the other side of me that night, and she said that she felt an identification and empathy that, you know, when I watched Waiting for Superman, I was just angry by the end.
And felt sorry for the kids.
And exactly, felt sorry for the kids. And when I walked out of this one, and there were no solutions, and it was more of an exploratory type of documentary, just kind of shedding light on, look, this is what teaching in America is really like, which I appreciated. It did not, I guess maybe I'm just Eeyore already, and so it didn't affect me the way it affected Tigger over here.
I just didn't feel like jumping anymore. And that's what I do.
So
I don't know, it was so, I don't want to call it eye-opening, because I've always understood that when you're a good teacher, your job is hard. You are overworked, you are underpaid, and I would argue more so for somebody in a position like we have, where, you know, not only are we teaching, but hey, you're running a business. I mean, that's what you do. Yeah. And you run a business, and your staff is made up entirely of teenagers. And I'm not saying that they're not dependable, because they are.
Yeah, we are.
But,
talking about how we're terrible at
but it's more of a challenge.
Half of us are marketing students.
that number is false. It's not half. It's like 3.
But it's more challenging than running a group of adults, and not so much because of the kids, but because of all the, well, we talked about this last week, some of the restrictions that are put onto your staff because they are teenagers. But not only that, but like, if you're running a business and you have an employee that is doing a bad job, you don't have, I don't imagine you have as many hoops to jump through as you do as a teacher who is running a yearbook or a newspaper, and you have a staff member that's doing a bad job. You have to do so many different things to prove that they're doing a bad job, when out in the real world, our positions would be the equivalent of somebody where the buck stops. You know, there's nobody after the publisher.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I went off on a tangent
It's all
there.
good.
But yeah, I liked the movie American Teacher, but it made me feel bad. Not just for me, but for every good teacher out there. And if the nation, and when I say the nation, I mean every single person in the country, sees this movie and is affected in a positive way to want to go out and make change, then I will not be as depressed as I am now. But right now, a handful of people in the metro area has seen it, and I don't know how much of an effect it's going to have. Probably not as much as Waiting for Superman, which single-handedly vilified public education in the hearts and minds of everyone.
Because it had the backing of powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's the difference. And Matt Damon probably needs to be a little more vocal in his... he narrated the film, and Dave Eggers produced it, and they're limited in their reach. When Davis Guggenheim goes on Oprah to talk about Waiting for Superman, and that reach is immeasurable, and that's part of the problem. So.
And I don't think the people that made Waiting for Superman meant it to be an attack on public teachers. I think they meant it to be an attack on public school system, and it's not the teacher's fault, but we're the ones that...
We're the visible.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to think they don't think that public educators are all just a bunch of trained monkeys who pick their noses and steal money from the government and spend the summer on a beach. Because I have the money to go to on a Caribbean cruise every summer. What the heck? What?
Well, okay. Now we're just being stupid.
That's what I do.
And now we get to go submit our students' work to contests so they can win prizes totaling $65,000 or more.
It's actually just a piece of paper that some intern at a college probably prints out in mass and scribbles a name on, or stamps. Guy whose name doesn't even know anything about it. But you know what? They've earned those pieces of paper with those stamps, and so we're going to do it because that's what we need more to do.
I really don't have enough in my life.
Yeah, you know, I mean, my 60 hours of work that I work every week.
Say that 5 times fast. Oh.
It's probably not 60. Probably more like 59. But we love it.
We do. And that was, let's bring it all back to American Teacher. I really loved hearing other teachers say how much they loved teaching, because I don't think that message gets out there enough. I think that they get the message that we just spent, which is these darn kids, and I work too much, and I got essays and stuff like that. But there's nothing else I'd rather do. I think the very last line of the film. It's the best job in the world, and I really think it is.
I love it too.
Okay.
I do.
So.
Although realty.
Okay.
We should end.
We should. Okay. Have a great weekend.
Bye.